You take away a man's freedom, a slave is born. You take away his will to live, a survivor is born. But be wary if you toy with his conscience, for the man who shall rise from the ashes will no longer be of this world. You see, conscience is tied to a press of a button named sanity. One flick of this switch and a man turns into something else. Hitman. Hello everyone, I'm the Holy Hermit, and today we'll be reviewing Hitman Absolution. This is the 5th installment in a popular game series called Hitman. And our review today will be slightly different as always. I will not be giving it any scores, no numbers, nothing, but I will be sharing my humble thoughts on it, and more importantly, why is this game so unique and different? So here we begin. In a world full of assassins and thieves, Hitman has certainly been different since day one. When the game first came out, he soon became the most famous assassin of them all. But the title of the game is absolutely not Assassins now, is it? It is a Hitman game. So the first question of course would be, is Hitman really an assassin? What does he do? What makes him different from a common assassin? All assassins, one or the other, have a certain agenda behind them. They have someone backing them up, a big organization. That certainly was the case with Hitman when he started the whole series, but he's been moving away from it. A man who works on his own, a man who has his own conscience, a man who holds his own conscience dear to himself, who is not influenced by anyone else but by his own thoughts, whether that be good or bad. Hitman is finally here, and he's great at what he does. And what he does is something none of us can do or would wish to do. The whole premise of this game is to assassinate targets that have been a thorn in the eye for our dear Hitman. They might or might not have done any evil things, but our assassin wants to take them out, and it's our job to see this whole thing through. Stealth is the biggest part of the game, but since the franchise is slowly moving away from its initial principal idea, there are different ways to reach this goal now. You can assassinate a target in a very stealthy manner, or you can go guns blazing into the fight, kill everyone around you. Whichever works for you, whatever you prefer, Hitman does have the tools for it. But at the end of the day, the game is also called Hitman. It's not a generic first person or third person shooter. The idea here is to assassinate targets. So as far as choices go, the first biggest choice you get in the game is to choose your own path. You can diverge from this path whenever you want, but the choice you always get is which way would you like to play. Would you like to be a silent assassin, hide in the shadows, take out guards one by one? Or would you like to destroy them all in the process? But there's also a little third way which most hardcore Hitman fans would remember. That is, not to disturb anything, be a complete shadow. You come into the game and no one sees you, not even the target you're after. The person who's supposed to die will die. No one will know what happened, no one will figure out. The world will stay the same. There will be no chaos, nothing. You come in, you go out, clean. That's the third way of playing Hitman, and this is what you'll see me do in this entire video, where the goal would be to sneak past every enemy, not to knock them out, not to kill them, but to quite simply walk past them and get to our next objective. But this is all talking about gameplay. We wouldn't be doing justice to Hitman if we don't talk about the atmosphere, the way he plays himself. All the characters in video games have certain specific features about them. Some of them are big, some of them are cartoonically large, some of them have an evil look about them. If you look at Hitman, you wouldn't get any of that. Here's a man who has a complete blank look on his face, no loss of emotions, nothing. A straight face who's there to do the job. The way he dresses up is very professional, the way he looks like, all he does is done to a precision. He's almost like a person who's obsessively involved with his work. He has no life outside. All he does is assassinate, and he's good at it. He doesn't need anything else in his life. What he wants is here in this business. Did he choose this path or not, that does not matter, but he's here doing his job. And if you look at the man's facial features, all you see is a simple plain face. No hair, nothing. No expressions. The game developers deliberately try to distance the player from this character, distance in a good way. You don't want to feel Hitman's emotions because he doesn't have any, but as the time goes by from game 1 to game 5, you do see certain parts of Hitman that are coming up. If you remember the old game, right where you see right now at the back of his head, he has a band-aid attached to it. Earlier he used to have a barcode. This guy's name, believe it or not, is Agent 47. You don't know his name because he was never given one. Everything he was taught, the way he was trained, is for perfection alone. There is no room for personal identity, just a number, just an instrument to cause chaos. That is Hitman for you. But as he kept on moving in his life, he realized what he was doing was not right. What he did earlier is something he couldn't continue doing right now. And this is what you see right now in the game, the point I made earlier, where Hitman is not an assassin. He is a Hitman. He's not following any group, he's not there to answer anyone's call. He's doing his own thing, he has his own conscience, and he wants to set things right in his own small way. For all the evil deeds he's done, this man is finally beginning to develop a conscience. And here he is trying to set things right. And the first sign where you see it, as I said earlier, is to look at the back of his forehead where he has a band-aid attached to it. He had his past where he was numbered Agent 47. That number's going away now. He doesn't want to be identified by that. He's taken that bit off. He's also removed that tattoo to signify that he's not part of that agency anymore. He's a free man with free spirit. His spirit he will use to set things right. And the last bit that's great about this game is the environment in which Hitman works. It is all full of surprises for the player and for the target. There are more than one ways to skin a cat, as the saying goes, and Hitman does prove it right. There are different ways to do anything in the game, and the game offers you quite a few unique choices. The game is also very dynamic. This is a free living and breathing world where people interact with each other. These interactions do affect you. The gameplay on its own is linear, but the way you go about it from point A to B can be different depending on the way you want to play. There's a stealthy role, there's a semi-stealthy role, or you can go guns blazing. It's all up to you really, but the way AI behaves around you is also very good. If you want to be a gunslinger, you're most welcome to do so, but you will face a challenge in terms of guards in the game. There's easy ways to dispatch them as Hitman is proficient in anything he does, whether it be silent kills or gunplay. He is the jack of all trades. Even when it comes to eliminating all targets, none of the targets are usually stationary. They all move around in the world. They'll never sit in one room waiting for you to come there and shoot them. They are living, breathing people, and they have their own agenda to go about, things they want to do, moving almost in a circle around the map, and it's up to you where you want to confront them. Another amazingly versatile part of this game. As you keep pushing through the game does get challenging. The game also throws a curveball at you every now and then. But every time you find a solution to this problem, you feel satisfied, you feel like a true Hitman, and that's what the game developers were after again, to be this ever so powerful guy who can do so many astounding things that most of us can't. Earlier his deeds were wrong in most cases, now he does it for the right. That does not matter to Hitman as I said, but the way you go about it in the game is certainly refreshing. When the game developers announced this game, the first thing they said, the biggest part of announcement they were after, is the original assassin is back, and that is absolutely true. So the final verdict then, with all those games out there in the market, this certainly is one of the forefathers of the stealth genre. With dynamic world at your disposal and the ways you can dispose your target in different ways. If you're after a game that offers you unique ways to play the objective, where there's not just one way to reach your goal, then this certainly is a game for you. For the die-hard fans of the Hitman series, it does have its unique offers. The game does manage to stay true to all you fans, where if you want to play in the most purest way and not kill any guards but the objective, the game also gives you a nice choice there. Things have been changed of course, to attract a wider range of audience, but that doesn't mean all the purists can't have fun as well. All in all, this is a great game and I recommend you all to give it a go. Let me know if you like it or not. This has been the Holy Hermit for you. I hope you all have a great day ahead. Thanks ever so much for listening. This was my review of Hitman. I'm out now. Thanks ever so much for listening. Bye.